Very good morning to one and all. So, today we are starting our lesson with the topic revenue for the company, as we have done the previous part. In that, the company becomes the divan. So, now the company had become the divan, but still saw itself primarily as a trader. It wanted a large revenue income but was unwilling to set up any regular system of assessment and collection. So what was the main motive of the company? That he only wanted to gain profit. So the effort was to increase the revenue as much as it could buy fine cotton and silk cloth as cheaply as possible. So within 5 years the value of goods bought by the company in Bengal doubled. Before 1865, the company had purchased goods in India by importing gold and silver from Britain. So now the revenue collected in Bengal could finance the purchase of goods for export. So there is no need to bring something from the Britain. So whatever they want, they could get it here only in India. Soon it was clear that the Bengal economy was facing a deep crisis. So artisan was deserting villages since they were being forced to sell their goods to the company at low prices. Peasants were unable to pay the dues that were being demanded from them. So artisanal production was in decline and agriculture cultivation showed signs of collapse. So then in 1770, a terrible famine killed 10 million people in Bengal. About one third of the population was wiped out. So now what we know about this, after reading this, that the who was taking the charge of the Bengal, obviously the British East India Company, but in the supervision of that company, how the Bengal destroyed, what was the problems Bengal was facing. So this was all totally their supervision or their observation. Their power was totally in the lack of system. It was a very you can say it was a very big loss for the Bengal. So the next is the need to improve agriculture. If the economy was in ruins, could the company be the certain of its revenue income? Most company officials begins to feel that investment in land had to be encouraged and agriculture had to be improved. Now look, the people were they were economically very down. So how they can pay the high revenue? So what the company demanded? The company only demanded the high revenue, so that if the revenue will be high, their profit will be high. So how people can pay that? So what they feel that they should invest in land and agriculture should be improved. So how was this to be done? After 2 decades of debate on the question, that the company finally introduced the permanent settlement in 1793. So what was that? By the terms of that settlements, the Raja and Talukdars were recognized as zamindars. They were asked to collect rent from the peasants and pay revenue to the company. So they were playing the role of the mediocre. So the amount to be paid was fixed permanently, that is, it was not be increased in future. Means their amount has been fixed, they have to pay this much revenue. It was felt that this would ensure a regular flow of revenue into the company's coffers and at the same time encourage the jamindars to invest in improving the land. So now the revenue would not be decreased, it would not be increased. So the company will have a regular income, or it would be not less or not high. So since the revenue demand of the state would not be increased, the zamindar would benefit from increased production from the land. Look, if someone production has increased but the revenue he has to pay the same amount, but the profit he is earning that is much, so it means it is their benefit. Revenue is the same, revenue is not increasing. So this was all thing the company was trying to improve the situation. So this we will do to this much. There was some problem in the permanent settlement also, but that we will read later. Till then you just cover this topic.